Ultra pop music.
Hello everybody, welcome. This is my Venice Twink production breakdown video that I'm so generously giving you guys. This is a song that is a cover. Originally Venice Bitch by Lana Del Rey, and I just made it better. So I'm not gonna use this border that I have going on because it's a little too much. So we're gonna hide that. I'm gonna put this one on. Okay, so look, I just recorded this whole thing and it didn't work, so let's go over it again. So the production of the song. The song is very, has a very atmospheric vibe. It's very spacious. It's very, I would say, like a little sensual. It's also very simple. The production of the song is very simple, very minimal. It has a bass, a synth pad, and drums, and effects. So the main thing is this drone bass. It literally is a stock patch from Logic. I just think it's really good. So this is what it sounds like without any of the effects. So on it, I put some Kickstart, which is a sidechain plugin, 79% mix, some distortion, and then a high cut to sort of cut that top end of that distortion. That goes on throughout the entire song, and it changes chords, I think, only in the chorus. And then I have this supporting that, which is another, it's a pad, it's not a bass, it's a pad from Serum, but it sounds like this. But then I have the same effects on it. I have Kickstart, distortion, and EQ. But I like this because it supports the bass by giving me the sort of the top melodic content. So this is what the intro of the song sounds like. So it's that sub bass. Then I have this little synth that I have scattered throughout the whole song. Then this is pretty sure this is just the first vocal that I recorded, and it actually says Venice Bitch in it because before I decided to name it Venice Twink. But then it has Portal on it, which Portal is an incredible plugin that I think a lot of people use for granular synthesis. I have some low cut on it, and it makes it sound like this. Right, and then this is sort of the same thing. I always like to add some impact environment stuff to the beginning. It just kind of eases you into the song. Then you get this, which is also one of the main instruments of the song, which is this gated synth pad that I love. It's a really great patch. I use it all the time. And then I have the kicks, which is, I'm pretty sure this is the same kick I use throughout the whole song. I use a lot of Sophie drums in my songs because they're just mixed really well, and it's Sophie. You can never go wrong with that. The verses are pretty boring. It's just that with the kick. The vocal is doing what it's doing. I introduce a little bit of a snare here. And this is what the chorus sounds like. And that is things I already talked about. We have the sub bass, the pad supporting the sub bass, the gated synth again. This is what the drums are doing though. It's a regular reggaeton beat with a few little extra things. The snare also has a high cut on it, to once again sort of have everything be subdued and atmospheric and slow. I was having a lot of fun while I was producing this song, and so there's there's just like a lot of one-time sections. I think nothing in this song actually repeats other than like the bass and the other stuff. So right here, it just randomly goes into this double speed. It's just so random, but it's because I have free will. That same gated synth pad, but higher and faster. Then this other synth, which is another serum synth. It's like a square wave. And then obviously the drums kind of double in speed as well. Then after that, we have this other section. And this just has like an extra synth here for embellishment. Then we go into this little second verse section. And for this I have this little lead-in, which is you know, when you like take the audio and reverse it. And this is just a super saw with some echo. Then I have a few extra like bass sounds just to add a little, make it sound a little different. It's very subtle, but it is different. Then the second verse is pretty much the same, but again, nothing is really the same. Like every section on this is different. We have a different kick on the second verse. Then the same chords as before, but arpeggiated this time. I always like to do something in like the middle of the second verse, like a break, a stop, and it goes into this thing. It goes back into it. I do have this in here, which is like a hat sample. Then you go into the chorus again, but it doesn't have the reggaeton beat this time. It's just, I wanted the vocal to really come through because the vocal is very lush, but I do have these little fun drums here. I just like how they sound. And then you have this little, another break section. Bro, there's another break section before the outro of the song, and it has this little piano here. The bass comes in. The outro of the song, everything just speeds up. We have a double time kick. The gated synth actually doubles also. You can see the rate of the LFO doubles here. And I also have the EQ on it. It like slowly strips away so that it gets brighter and brighter each time. You know, that creates some like openness and everything gets hyper and whatever. Also, I have these hats. Again, I was having a lot of fun doing this. I just like literally doing whatever. And I made this little trancey electronic, I don't know, kind of dreamy outro. And then for the outro of the song, I have here on the stereo channel. I know you're like not supposed to touch it, but I touched it, and I just have some reverb, and for the end of the song, I just made it all the way wet, which means it just like reverberates over and over again, and it creates this like mush of echo. Then there's like small little things throughout, like obviously you need your risers, your down risers, for example, like here before the main chorus I have this little transition here. When it gets into the trancey section, you have this little And that's the production of the song. Cute. Now let's get into the vocal. So the vocals are very purposefully very dreamy and lush and sort of sensual, and I'm very up close to the mic. It's very breathy because I wanted it to sound like that. A lot of people were asking me about my vocal change, so let's get into that. So this is what the main vocal sounds like.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink, on a suit with the neighborhood kids, calling up and bang kiss kiss.
So I have gain, of course, I have auto-tune, I have EQ, I have OTT, noise gate, saturation, portal, and compressor. So the EQ is very fabulous. This is the Fat Filter Pro Q3. It is the best EQ I've ever used. It's amazing. It's very expensive, but you can find a way to get it for free. DM me if you want it. This is what it sounds like without any of that.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink.
With the EQ, it brightens it up a little bit.
Oh God, miss you on my lips.
Same thing with OTT.
It's me, a little Venice twink, on a suit.
I love adding OTT to my vocals all the time because OTT is a free plugin, and it just, you have to learn how to use it because it can get really ugly really quickly. It's a very volatile plugin. But I have the highs all the way up, the mediums in the middle, and then the low down, and then my upward and downward. Like, these are my settings, and you can notice such a difference with it on and off.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink, on a suit with the neighborhood kids.
Like, it just adds so much brightness to the vocal. And I have a noise gate for when I'm not speaking, so you don't hear any white noise. I have the saturation knob, but it turns on and off. It's automated because sometimes I don't need the saturation, but I'm pretty sure this is also a free plugin. I have compressor, and I always use the medium vocal setting on my compressor. I use a stock compressor. I could be using a better one, but hey, it's what I'm using. And then I have Portal. I spoke about Portal. Amazing plugin. I'm using the Grain Runner preset, and it just gives me like this really fabulous delay. This is what that sounds like.
Fear fun, fear love, fresh out of Fox forever, trying to be stronger, fear.
And I have more of that chopped up vocal stuff that I had from the beginning into the verses.
Trying to be stronger, fear.
I also have these things that add space.
Oh God, it's me, a little Venice bitch.
There's a lot of harmonies going on.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink, on a suit with the neighborhood kids, calling up and bang kiss kiss. As the summer fades away, nothing gold can stay. You're beautiful and I'm insane. We're American made.
And then just like smaller things, like this little breathy vocal here. More harmonies here.
Norman, rock, rock.
And again, more stuff. So then it goes back into the chorus, and we have the lush vocals.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink.
And then for the little break part, I have here, once again, the same lead vocal, but with a portal effect on it. This one has a little Ultra Boy on it. I just put the format down, but I don't think it has that much of an effect. But
oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink.
and it's just like a little section. In the end, it's just the both parts of the chorus on top of each other.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink, on a suit with the neighborhood kids, calling up and bang kiss kiss.
I like when a song ends with just basically every single fucking layer added on top. I'm gonna give away a secret that I love, that I already have a pretty high-pitched voice. I think it just sounds a lot sweeter if I pitch it up a little more. So I use Speed on Logic. I don't know, on Ableton or something else what you would do, but I record like at a lower speed. So this is what like my normal voice.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink.
Like, that is my voice, but then I speed it up 2%.
Oh God, miss you on my lips. It's me, a little Venice twink.
And that gives you like a really clean pitch up without using a plugin to like pitch things up. I know it might be like a weird workaround, but I love it. I've been recording like this for a long time. And I think it's a nice trick if you want to either pitch down or pitch up your vocal. I think using Verispeed is a very clean way to do it. That is an actual secret of mine. Verispeed. Get into it. And there you go. That's the whole song. There you have it.